What's something strange your body does that you know isn't quite right but also isn't quite serious enough to get checked out by a doctor? Well, every once in a while my eyes will go blurry and I can't see for a few seconds. I've learned to wait it out, but it seriously freaked me out when I was younger, but from what I know it's basically harmless. By the way, I have 20/20 vision, so it's not my eyesight getting worse over the years. Shira thinks IDK mine's similar to her condition, but instead of going blurry for a few seconds, if I've been lying down for too long then I stand up, then I get this dizzy feeling and I kinda have a blackish static around my eyes, which will last for about 2 to 4 seconds, then I just feel normal. Wait, no, just found out it's called orthostatic hypotension and I'm just really dehydrated. This is what has been happening. Just wanted to edit this to show everyone I finally figured it out. Thanks for the advice from everyone though, and have a nice day. When I cough, a spot in the middle of my back itches like mad. Also, once every few months I'll turn my head a certain way, and it feels like something snaps in my head and a sensation of warmth spreads out in my skull. Probably not a tumor. I will sometimes catch myself mouthing / whispering the last sentence or phrase I spoke. Drives me insane. I'd like to self-diagnose this as palilalia. Seems to be exactly what I have. I have one piece of hair on my arm that is white and grows super fast and can get way longer than I've ever seen an arm hair be before. Sometimes, the inability to tell the difference between being nauseated and hungry. At totally random times it feels like my heart keeps skipping a beat and I feel short of breath. It goes on for a few hours usually and then stops. I get rubber band headaches sometimes when I focus on doing a certain task. Sometimes the muscles in my hand will tense up and I have to use my other hand to unfold it. Sometimes I feel a very acute short pain in my chest. For like 1/10 of a secretary, it feels like it's in between the ribs, like they pinched the meat. My body doesn't let me know when I need to pee until it hurts. Like I could go a whole day without peeing and then wake up the next morning with intense stomach cramps that go away after a solid 5-minute pee. I can't tell you how many times I've been like, have I peed today? Well, you never know, and I sit down to discover that my bladder was full. It's nice to know I'm not the only one. After reading comments I'm worried it might be some pinched nerves in my spine or something, because I'm realizing I only began having trouble telling I need to pee after I fell and bruised my tailbone. I haven't had kids yet, so it can't be because of a C-section. But I did get frequent UTIs in middle school, around the same time I got my tailbone. Not sure if it was before or after that. My mom never took me to get treated for. It lasted about 6 months and I would get so itchy that I'd scratch myself bloody. So it might be lasting damage from that. I also have ovarian cysts, so the person who suggested I get my uterus checked out, it never occurred that they might be connected. My parents grew up as migrants, so they never went to the hospital unless they were dying, and that means it has transferred over to us, so they almost never take us to the doctors. I'm heading off to college in a few weeks though, so I might stop by a free health clinic or something, since I'll finally be able to. When I sit in a position for too long and then arch my back, my breastbone cracks into place. Not sure if it is the breastbone, but definitely in my chest. I get this sharp pain in my ass that lasts a few seconds and it hurts so much. It makes me stand still and not want to move, because it'll just become even worse. Mayo. Doesn't happen too often though. I get red marks on my body after I work out and sweat a lot, but they quickly disappear as soon as I cool down again. 100% normal until I work out again. It also feels itchy when the red marks are there, but the itch disappears with everything else eventually. Not me, but my uncle. He's almost 70 now. Over the past few years he has gotten more and more grumpy. Yeah, nothing to worry about. His uncle was like that too. Something old people get. He never wanted to see a doctor, even if his cold didn't seem to go away after 2 months a few years ago. That was bronchitis, progressed to pneumonia. He still has a nasty cough. About a month ago my grandmother was celebrating her 93rd birthday with her children. My uncle just sat there, staring in the distance, and when trying to talk he just mumbled, My aunt finally took charge and took him to the hospital. Brain scan was done. Turns out he had a lot of tiny brain bleeds, probably over the course of several years. Don't ignore personality changes, no matter how slowly they progress. I can't burp. I just get this weird gurgly sound as air bubbles come up through my throat. If gas comes up that way, I can rip some mean ass though. I feel the need to close my eyes very tight about once every 5 minutes. Hopefully it doesn't make me look like a complete psycho. Sometimes I get this weird feeling like everything is going in slow mo. In contrast, I feel like everything I do is at normal speed. My brain just wants me to do stuff and I feel this burst of energy that makes me feel great. However, there is always a moment where I feel like I should keep moving, because if I stop something bad will happen to me. Usually lasts a few minutes tops. When I manage to calm down, everything goes back to normal. Has been happening since I'm a kid, 24 now, and still happens every year. 60% of the time, when I take a leak, my pee decides to shoot off at a near right angle. I'm a guy. No correlation with recent sex, etc. No way of knowing which direction. I live in fear of the day it finally goes vertical, and I waterboard myself. Random twitchy muscles. Often enough to notice that it happens, yet infrequent enough not to be of any concern. Sometimes when I sneeze I get severe pain, stiffness, and pressure in my arms. Internet says it's a pinched nerve. It goes away after a few seconds. Never told a doctor about it, even though it's been happening since I was a kid. Sometimes I can't swallow food or water. It's like my throat just randomly closes, and it isn't a food allergy either. I'm able to swallow. If I quickly twist my neck to the side, it temporarily opens my throat. Doesn't happen often enough to warrant a doctor visit. My stomach makes so much noise. Hungry, full, doesn't matter. Just weird audible squeaky / whistly / gurgle noises all of the time. Like there have been times when my husband is I have moments for a few minutes once every couple of months where I have a huge memory lapse and nothing feels quite right. I get these shivers across my spine every once in a while. Sometimes they come from a change in temperature, but usually it's if a car comes a little close or someone passes too close behind me. My best guess is a slight adrenaline release. Sometimes my kneecap does this weird thing where, when I'm laying in my bed, it feels like it is floating or wiggling around. It doesn't hurt, but it does feel weirdly uncomfortable for a few seconds. For as long as I can remember, I've always had the need to apply pressure on my fingertips and tips of my toes. I don't know how to describe it correctly. It's kind of like I feel the need to release pressure. I get brain snaps. It feels like when you pop a knuckle in your finger. It does not hurt at all, but the same exact sensation, but like in my brain. So writing this down, I never really told anyone this. This seems like I should get it checked out. I no longer feel so alone on my strange pains and aches. Sometimes I'll be walking and I suddenly just dissociate from my body and everything around me. It could either be triggered by my thoughts or just doing nothing at all. I think about how I'm next to nothing in the universe and feel like I'm jumping out of myself. Then my body just feels like it isn't mine. In that moment I try to stop it by looking down at my arms to realize that my body is mine, and to stop thinking about things like that. It takes a lot of distraction to end it. Happened a lot my senior year in high school. Happens on occasion now, and might have happened the other day. Lasts maybe 30 seconds, 1 minute. I'm really hoping someone else has gone through something similar. Edit. I'm new to Reddit, so thank you for all the responses. I can't go through every single one, but I appreciate all the help and advice from everyone. This has become a really awesome discussion. I'm so glad I'm not alone in this. I get these moderately painful hiccups 1-2 times a day. Sometimes they are so unbearable I have to literally clutch my chest in pain as it lingers for 30 seconds to a minute. My left ankle sometimes gives out for no reason. Like just stops being an ankle and collapses. Not often, but it is very unsettling when it happens. I don't breathe right. You know how you barely breathe, maybe for 2 seconds in and 2 seconds out, so it looks like you're not breathing? Aka, sort of like how you're taught to breathe in choir while singing. I breathe like that. I didn't think much of it, but I also have chronic medical migraines. I recently realized that if I inhale deeper, expanding my lungs fully, it now like how most people breathe, it hurts to stretch them, and I get a little dizzy. But it also feels good. Like I just saved some brain cells dying from lack of oxygen lol. Just like a sudden rush to my brain. I hallucinate when I wake up in the mornings. Anywhere from spiders on the wall to figures standing silently in my bedroom. I always wear a sleeping mask before bed to avoid it, but sometimes I forget or it slips off. I yawn all day, no matter how much sleep I get. I'm otherwise very healthy, except lots of stress and trauma. Woohoo. Edit. This blew up overnight. Thank you all for your replies. More about me. I have depression, anxiety and PTSD. I'm not on antidepressants. I have been on them and still yawned all day. I take vitamin D every day. I do not have asthma. Otherwise I'm physically healthy. I eat well, plenty of nutrients, exercise, etc. The yawning usually gets really bad when I try to do something productive, study or even just to a hobby I enjoy, or get into a conversation with someone. This is extremely difficult as they think I'm bored and do not care. It used to be so bad that my yawns lasted 30 to 60 seconds each and were so incredibly strong, long and extreme that my jaw was in severe pain and I would eventually have watery eyes. Then it would start all over again. It just never ended. That was back when I was being severely abused. I just assumed it's a little better now as I'm in a healthier situation. IDK. I will speak to my psych about narcolepsy and sleep apnea. I always assumed it was just stress. Counselor thinks so. I will also notify my GP next week. Sometimes I get random sharp pains up my ass, like I'm getting impaled by a spear. And no, I do not do bud stuff. Hemorrhoids? Mosquitoes bite me the same as anyone else, and I'll get an itchy bump where the bite is, and then for whatever reason it will completely disappear within 15 minutes. Inability to take a leak when in a public restroom, or when I think people can hear me. My left eye makes a weird squeaking sound when I rub my eyelid. Make sure to like and subscribe for more daily content. Thanks for watching.